Ho ho ho, and welcome along to our 4th ever Christmas special, and this year we're back with our second My Hero Academia Secret Santa video! How does this work? Well, I've used a random item generator to find various items off Amazon, not sponsored by the way, to create a list of money wouldn't buy prizes. I've stuck said items on one wheel and the names of various cast members from My Hero Academia and Vigilantes on another. I spin the first wheel to see who will win a prize, and then spin the second wheel to see what they'll win. And in the end, Eri gets a bonus spin because she does! It's kind of like in the show, but with a greater risk of someone getting a prize that is really rather terrible and could lead to serious injury because 'tis the season or something. Anyway, that is enough from me. Take it away, me from the past. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you, dear listener. This is my 4th attempt to make this video. First couple of times were just really boring. The 3rd time wasn't that bad, but I think that we can do better. We can get even bigger and sillier and wilder. So hopefully that'll be the case. Granted, we are totally at the mercy of random chance, so hopefully this time we'll get something that is truly fun, truly crazy, and truly legendary. I have modified the wheels a little bit. I've added a spin again onto this one for the sake of balance, and I've added a second whammy prize on the other list, which you'll soon see in a moment. But anyway, let us begin with our first spin to see who's going to be our first winner. Our first winner is going to be Sero. You know, every single one that I've done up until this point, everyone that's won the first spin has been Ojiro. This is the first time it hasn't been them. It's Sero instead, the sellotapes powered superhero. So let's see what thing they will end up winning. Maybe it's maybe thematically appropriate, maybe it'll be useful, maybe it'll just be so no! Okay, so this is a present that was on last year, and last year Midoriya won it. And I brought it back as the second whammy, and he's won it right off the bat. Okay, so he's won the David Hasselhoff Sings America CD, which was a prize that you could have won on my old radio show back in the day, and no one chose it as their prize. I can't think why. Anyway, off to a flying start. We'll see actually who is next on this one. It's Shoji. Shoji, the one with the scary face. In the previous one of this, I won something that would help him actually not be as scary to little kids and children. So hopefully this will be just as useful to him. Or not. We'll soon see. This really is the look of the draw in this. There's one insect repellent. You know what, I'm going to be honest, I would have rather that one of the cast members from Vigilantes would have won this, but now he has it. He can use it when the summer months come in, or something, I don't know. Or he can use it on his superhero duties against an insect-themed bad guy. I think that might be going a little bit above and beyond the Call of Duty and getting into a slightly dubious way. Anyway, we'll soon find out. Now it's time for Mina Ashido, the pink one that wanted to name herself after a Ridley Scott movie. Or rather, her hero name was going to be. Yep, her hero name was going to be Napoleon. I really don't know what on this list would be thematically appropriate for her, so we'll just see what wacky shenanigans we get up to. She's won a gaming mouse. I don't think she's ever shown a proclivity towards video gaming, but she has a gaming mouse. To be fair though, gaming mice can actually be rather useful because you've got those buttons on the side which you can use to easily help you navigate around web pages and such. So while she might not play video games, it's actually a really useful gift. So we've had a wacky gift and we've had a useful gift. Maybe this one will get into another wacky one. Hopefully it's not a boring one. And it's going to be Toru. He's going to be next. The invisible girl herself. Really don't see what she could end up winning. Ha 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 ha. Very laboured pun. I will admit it's incredibly laboured. I'm not really good at spontaneity. All my best spontaneity has to be pre-planned. And she's going to win baseball cards, which isn't a bad win because, you know, baseball's rather big in Japan, so this works. Granted, they probably would be Japanese baseball cards rather than American baseball cards, as you can see on the screen. You know, I actually don't mind baseball. I actually like baseball. I wouldn't mind try playing it for some time. I played similar sports before. Played cricket, played rounders. So, you know, we do what we can. Now, Ojiro is next. I will admit, I got Ojiro and Jiro mixed up when I was doing my my list earlier on. I really don't know how. I mean, how could you mistake those two names? But still, I suppose when you have a character that's just as boring and bland as he is, it's easy to forget that he exists. So, you know, the thematic thing would be for him for something that is rather boring and bland, but boring and bland isn't funny. Oh, he almost won the boring and bland one, but he's won some children's binoculars. They're not binoculars for seeing children, they're child-sized binoculars. I just want to throw that out there before anyone gets any weird ideas. Probably would have been a better present, ideally for Eri, but she gets the last spin, and hopefully it'll turn out just as well as it did last time I did this. Well, not the last official time, but the last time I did it before this one. Our next drawer is going to be the main character from the main series, Izuku Midoriya. Now, again, don't really know what would be thematically appropriate for him. His present last time around was the David Hasselhoff Sings America CD. So hopefully he doesn't get the other whammy. Oh my god! I thought I cursed him there, but he hasn't. He's won the personalised sign. Now, to be fair, in the context of this, and kind of how they seem to do it in the main series, it wouldn't actually be personalised because you wouldn't know who it was. Because the way they seem to do it in the show is just someone buys a present, puts it in the list, and everyone just goes in and picks a present off the pile. Whereas most Secret Santa stuff, you know ahead of time who you're buying it for. So let's just assume it's more like the traditional way that I know it. So someone who's given him a sign with his name on or something. Or he's got a voucher. Maybe he's just got a voucher instead, and he can use that to put his name up on his wall or something. Now it's time for the main character from Vigilantes. Okay, so we've had a protagonist double bill. Mr. Nice Guy himself, Crawler. I can't say his real name, so let's just call him Crawler. And let's hope that he gets something nice. Or silly, or fun. And we've just had 2 near misses there. Good God. He's won outdoor lights. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, I suppose. I mean, given that he seems to be living in a soon-to-be-condemned building, some outdoor lights might help keep the wrong uns away. But whatever, who am I to judge? I'm only the one that put this list together. So it's randomness following randomness when we think about it. But anyway, let's see who our next... Oh, it's going to be a spin again! A spin again! We're going to spin again! I put the spin again on it purely and simply because the wheel itself looked a little bit lopsided without an extra place on it. And I couldn't think of anyone else to put on it, so I put a spin again on. I could have put B on it, but I didn't want to reward a villain. So instead, we're going to get Uraraka. What could Uraraka end up winning? Well, we'll soon find out, because that's what we do here. Ooh. I'm not sure what would be thematically appropriate for it, as is... Oh, we're just flirting with death, aren't we? Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! What have I done? Oh, no! Oh, no! Now, I should point out for those of you sitting at the back, this is a real thing that exists. I found it purely by happenstance whilst I was doing my check for prizes. But she's won the other whammy prize. Oh, no! Well, congratulations. You've won a Dick Cheney trading card. Why is that a thing that even exists? Even beyond the realm of politics, why would that be a thing that exists? But hey, that's 2 of the whammies gone, so everything from this point out is going to be all hits and no filler. Oh God. Alright, so it's Kirishima up there. I don't think I'm going to recover from this one. I'm glad I've done this at my 4th time because it's gone far better. He's won... He's won a headlamp. Which is... look, I'm going to say... Well, I can't even say whether that's appropriate or not. He's just won a headlamp. It's a lamp you stick on your head. You know, like that prize Eri run in the last Secret Santa we did last year. Because that was the closest thing to a kid's toy we actually had left on the list. So there he is. You can see himself in the dark. Or see others in the dark, I should say. He seems to have a professional version of it, so you could probably use it as like a flashbang thing. Probably would have been better for this one. It's Aoyama, the shining laser Frenchman. Or he likes to pretend he's French. I don't really know. I don't think we've had that confirmed was one way or the other. And I don't think it ever will be. he's... I always start to just get into random crap. He's won a sheet music stand. Whereas in a couple of seasons ago, we were shown that he kind of isn't really musical in the slightest. So maybe this will help him, or maybe it won't. Or maybe he can use it as a weapon. He can use it as his trademark melee weapon. A sheet music stand. Why is the guy that's always talking about glitter and glowing stuff using a sheet music stand as a weapon? Who knows? Why did Uraraka win a Dick Cheney trading card? Who knows? Random chance dictated it. It's fate. But there's no fate but what we make. And here's Mineta, the one that I had wished won the bloody Dick Cheney trading card on the David Hasselhoff Sings America thing. He did win a thematically appropriate gift in the previous run of it. Well, that's only because I forced it to be thematically appropriate. Yes! Yes! He's won the Garbage Pail Kids card collection. For those of you under a certain vintage, basically the Garbage Pail Kids were like Cabbage Patch Kids, but for the Gen Xers. They were edgy and rude and crude. They don't play by the rules. And you know, Mineta, when you think about it, he's like a Garbage Pail Kid. Because he's kind of a little garbage little human being, isn't he? Good God. Mineta, the horrible little garbage goblin. I'm glad I've recorded this in advance, because then I can try and mock up what his Garbage Pail Kids card would look like. Oh, Lord. Anyway, we'll move on. It's time for Jiro. Jiro. The one that I kept getting mistaken with Ojiro. Can't think why. There's no reason why I'd ever get these two mistaken. Harumph. Anyway, we'll see what we get with her. Hopefully this time it'll actually be appropriate to a superpower, because every time I do this, it gets close but doesn't quite get there. And this time it... shit. For a second there, I thought she'd actually win the speaker tweeters, because her superpower is about sound. She has those headphone jack things on her ears, which broadcasts the sound of her heartbeat, and she uses that for sound waves. She plugs it into some speakers and uses it as a sonic weapon. So the speaker tweeters would have been appropriate, but she hasn't. She's won the picture word bingo, a present for children, a present that probably should have gone to Eri. But there we go. Shit. I'm just imagining what the hell the thumbnail for this video is going to look like. I'm just imagining it in my head, because it just gets stranger. Anyway, it's time for Denki Kaminari, Mr. Electric Man. I don't think we have anything on this. Well, we do have several electrical items on this list, but I don't think anything which will help him. So we're just looking for something that's just kind of silly and funny. And we got something that is neither silly nor funny, but it's kind of cool. It's a silver coin themed around Aztecs, which is neat. I don't see how it'd be useful. No, he can use it to conduct electricity, because silver conducts electricity. He can throw it at someone and then use his electric powers to zap onto the coin and zap that baddie. Yeah, see? Actually useful. God, I hope that silver conducts electricity, because otherwise this is going to make me look like tit. But to be fair, I've got people's names wrong for many times during this review, or video, or whatever I'm doing. I've had one of my special gummies and I don't know where I am. Now it's time for Popster. I'm just not going to elaborate on that. It's time for Popster. Popster. What you going to win? Is it going to be appropriate? We still have some like music and performance-based items on this list. Not as many as one would like, but she's won disposable gloves. The book zapper would have been a better alternative, but she's won disposable gloves, which will be appropriate because when she becomes a big name star or just has to do with weird creepy perverts, she can wear disposable gloves so she doesn't have to get anywhere near those freaks. Anyway, rapidly moving on because it's Christmas time, happy Christmas time. Anyway, here's Bakugo. Now, depending on your point of view, you're either going to want something that's like miserable and horrible for him, or you're going to want something that's kind of nice for him, depending on how you feel about the character. So hopefully we get something that ticks all the boxes. Given the kind of items that we have on this, we can only hope. He's won a car vacuum. A mini portable vacuum cleaner that you use for the inside of your car. he hasn't got a car. And thinking about it, I'm glad that he doesn't, because I don't think anyone in Japan would ever be safe again. You know, they think they're going for a bit of a rough patch in the main story of all this stuff with All For One and what have you. Oh, God, blimey, Jumbo. Imagine what kind of craziness he'd get up to if Bakugo had a car. Ooh. It'd be like a Grand Theft Auto game, which was recently announced just yesterday, at the time of recording this video. Which for you is probably like a fortnight away, but who knows. Anyway, now it's time for Knuckleduster, and for the sake of some alternate version of me in a different universe, this is going to have to be a good present, otherwise he's going to break my nose. So, let's see what we've got here. He's won a glue gun. I don't even know. I don't even know. To be fair, he has been shown to be a little bit of a rather ingenious little inventor in his own right. So maybe he can use this. Or not. I shudder to think how he would use this. But, you know, he's kind of a good guy, so it wouldn't be all bad, I suppose. Christ help us. Now it's time for Shoto Todoroki. In the previous set of spins I did with this, he won the Snow Cone Maker, just as I was talking about the Snow Cone Maker. So maybe if I talk about the Snow Cone Maker, this time he will win the Snow Cone Maker. And he isn't... What the frig is that? Oh! The Harry Styles album thing that's on vinyl. Sure, why not? I have nothing else to say on the matter. But hey, at least because his name came up, I can include him in the tags to this video and just slowly absorb the ad revenue. Well, not ad revenue, I don't make any money off this. Absorb the views from people thinking this is One Direction related or Harry Styles related. See, always thinking me. Though granted, the appearance of David Hasselhoff and Dick Cheney might well ruin things. There's a sentence you could take out of context any which way you like. Anyway, it's time for Tokoyami, Spooky Birdman. Would have been nice if we had Birdman on DVD. I think that was one of the things that came up on my list, but I scratched it off for some reason. And he's winning... Oh! He's winning the Easter egg toy fillers. The little presents that you sometimes get in the surprise egg toy things. I was starting to get a little bit wild and a little bit nervous because he was about to seemingly win the socket set, which is what he won on the previous spin, which would have been a weird coincidence. I don't know how it would have helped him, but I suppose he could have just thrown it at people. Now he has surprise eggs, because bird. God. Now it's time for Rikido Sato, Mr. Super Diabetes himself. As we get down to our final four, what could he win that's a pre-prepared? I'm losing the use of words. I've been doing this for like an hour and a half now, trying to get all this set up and working. And he's won a toy spring? A toy spring! Another toy that probably should have gone to Eri, which is making me worry that she's going to end up with something weird. Oh god, well at least she's not going to get the Dick Cheney book or Advent calendar or whatever Christ it was. So there, we got, what was it we won? Ah, it doesn't matter. No, he won the spring. He won the spring, that's what he won. He won the spring. Now it's time for Momo Yaoyayorozu, the one whose superpower is that she can make pretty much anything so long as she knows the molecular structure of it. Which makes stuff like this kind of a little bit moot, because she can just create anything that's on this list. Why she would, I don't know, but she could do. So let's give her something that money wouldn't buy. It's Random Access Memories by Daft Punk, I think. There's another big name that we could add to the list of characters that are in this episode that we could leech off their popularity in search engine results. You know what, I think that for the sake of this channel, I probably shouldn't, because I'll only get bollocked by YouTube. So, there we go, she's won some music, which to her is probably going to be technically classical music, given how this seems to be happening some way in the future. Now we've got Koda, the one that talks to the animals like Robert Downey Jr. But unlike Robert Downey Jr., he's not going to be a box office bomb. Ah! There's a film reference that no one's going to understand, apart from a select few, like me. And he's won the Snow Cone Maker, a nice, polite little present for a nice, polite person. He can sit in the corner and make some snow cones. I will admit, I've never been that keen on snow cones. This kind of feel like a more involved slushy. And you never really, after a certain point, you stop tasting the flavour. It's just ice. Just crushed ice. You might as well be chewing an ice cube. Anyway, now it's time. Speaking of ice cubes and being kind of bland and uninteresting, or rather boring, it's Tenya Ida, our penultimate spin. Well, no, the next one's a penultimate spin because we have Eri at the end of all of this. And he's won toilet spray. Well, I mean, he's a very practically minded young man. He's kind of boring at the same time, so he's won toilet spray. Something you spray in your toilet to make the smells not smell. That's all I have to say in it. Anyway, final technical spin. We'll spin it just so we can get the wheel clear. Doesn't have to do this a 5th time. It's time for Froppy to get her spin on the wheel. We didn't need to spin it, but whatever. See, it was a nice clean wheel. What's she gonna win? What's her present gonna be? As I'm starting to feel rather tired now. She's... Oh no. I suppose you could consider this the 3rd whammy present. 10 Swedish dishcloths. I don't know if Sweden makes a particular type of dishcloth that is so distinct and unique that it has to be considered its own separate category, but there it is. 10 Swedish dishcloths. I suppose the fact that she has to help out at home quite a lot, this will come in useful for her. But anyway, with that said, it's time for our final subject to spin for the wheel. It's time for young little Eri. Now, in the previous round that I did of this, she actually won something in the end which is actually appropriate for her. Some toys! Looking at the list right now, we don't really have that many toys left on the list. It's mostly assorted crap. So we're going to give her 2 spins, and hopefully she'll actually get some on this list that will actually be appropriate for her. Ideally in the first spin. That usually doesn't end up happening. Oh no. She won the speaker tweeters. I don't... We said we were going to spin it, so this isn't so bad, but it's one less bad thing on the list. Hopefully the next thing will be the good thing. Oh god, I hope it's a good thing. Oh no. It's the paper and credit card shredder. You know what? Forget this. We're going to throw out the rules yet again and we're going to spin again. Because we can't end this on a low point. We can't punish poor little Eri due to the shenanigans off this wheel. We're going to roll again and it's going to be something great and fantastic and good. God help me. You know, something good has to come from this. Something good has to come from this. She's won the replica wrestling belt. Okay, that's a fun, cute little gif, I suppose. You know, fine. She can be the big tough hero saving the day as she learns to control her superpowers, and then in the future she can look back at this and say, this is the thing that helped inspire me to become the kick-ass superhero that I am. Ah, inspiring the youth, inspiring the youth. And now one more spin just for good luck. Just one for the road. Let's see what we get. Saint Marker pen. So we have our alternatives. You know, she can either win the stuff that I've said, or she can win this. I know which stuff she deserves because she's a poor little small thing that's been horribly hurt her entire life, and she deserves the best. But anyway, well, that's said and done. Let's go back to me from the future. Woo! And so concludes this year's Secret Santa video. I will admit that things got a little bit wild towards the end there, but I wanted to end this on a high. Something wild and entertaining because goodness knows that given everything that's been happening in the world these past few months, we all need a little bit more fun and silliness in our lives. In any case, I hope that this past year has treated you and those that you care about well. And if it hasn't, well then I hope that next year will be better for you and better in ways that you could never have imagined. Because we all deserve a little bit of joy and happiness in our lives. So I hope that your 2024 will be the best year of your life, or the best year of your life so far. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. And have a merry whatever doesn't offend you. Goodbye!